I hadn't felt this good about a regular season win since Dallas beat Indianapolis back in 2006 when they were undefeated late in the season. That's the best I've seen Dallas play in a decade. That was without the special team snafus, and we'll get to that. This was a near perfect game as you can get in the NFL by the Dallas Cowboys in Seattle, in a place that nobody wins. Nobody wins up there. Dallas did not only win this ball game, they destroyed the Seahawks. Without those mistakes, without the Cowboys doing Cowboys things as we are expecting them to do often, this thing's a runaway. Dallas walks into Seattle and beats them by 3 touchdowns. We can go into the offense, whatnot, but the first thing needs to be talked about, and it's the Dallas Cowboys defense. I'm just saying about them first because that's the unit week after week. What do I keep saying? I keep saying, hey, they played well, but I'm not sure if I can trust them. I don't know what's going on. I trust these guys. I trust Rob Marinelli, and I trust these guys on this unit. That was masterful defense by the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, Russell Wilson is one of the toughest quarterbacks to defend in the league. Not just because he's mobile and he's smart. And the Dallas Cowboys never let him feel confident whatsoever. We shut down Marshawn Lynch. He had one big 32-yard run. Everything after that, chump change. We got ourselves in a bind with of course the special teams, the blocked punt, Dwayne Harris muffing a punt, and then of course Travis Frederick snapping the ball when Tony wasn't ready. You take those away, this thing's a blowout. Because Seattle was just kind of waiting for Dallas to mess things up. But when Dallas was on today, and boy, they were on most of the time, it was a thing of beauty. DeMarco Murray and this offensive line doing what they've been doing for the first 5 games and now 6 games. I think one of the really defining I think one of the biggest moment, of course, people are going to point to the Terrence Williams plays, which you should, and the touchdowns, the defensive stops. The play that really told me this thing's different was when we converted a 3rd and 14. I believe we dumped it off to either Lance Dunbar or Joseph Randall. I can't remember who it was now. I want to say it was Randall. Dumped it off to him to get 3rd and 14. He's running around in the flat. He catches the ball. He needs to get those yardage. And you see Jason Witten. And you see Jason Witten in battle look at Joseph, pointing behind him, say, hey, get behind me. I got it. It seals the block, gets the edge. We get the first down. Look, Jason Witten has always been a smart football player. He's one of the best quarterbacks. Wow, one of the best Cowboys we've ever had. But just seeing that in practice, seeing the guys as chaos is looming around them play smart, was amazing. Was outstanding. And as we talked about it with Tony Romo, we have us, especially myself, guys who can call themselves Tony Romo supporters or whatever, have always been chiming in. Please get this guy an offensive line. Well, they did it, and look what's happening now. He doesn't have to be Superman all the time. He can let DeMarco Murray and other guys take the brunt of it, and then the couple of times you have to have him, he's there for you to make those 3rd and 20 plays, to move around in the pocket and make those touchdown passes across the middle. This team's for real. And I know Cowboys fans, it's hard for us to jump in. Like, we've been burned so many times by this team. We've seen great performances before to see them fall off the face of the earth. So I know it's hard for a lot of us. You're excited about the win, and then you come back to earth, and you're like, okay, but it's still the Cowboys. Like, are they going to burn me later on? I have to say right now, I want to jump in and just say, hey, this team's legit. Now, of course, the struggling part, of course, is the fact that it feels like that as the Cowboys found themselves, so did some part of the NFC East. Because before the Giants got whooped by the Eagles today, they were seen coming along. You've got Philly at 5-1 as well. We can't forget about that. And next week, at home against New York, I don't care that Philadelphia wiped them off the face of the earth today. Giants coming into Dallas is never an easy win for the Cowboys. But also to respond to those who hate the Dallas Cowboys, who constantly remind us of our Decembers, we know. There's not a single Cowboys fan right now who doesn't know what this team's history has been late in the season. But don't act like you wouldn't be pretty dang excited, too, if your team was 5-1 and just came off of winning at Seattle, at the Champs Place, where no one's been able to win except for Arizona last season. It's a pretty big accomplishment. And the old adage the last 4 weeks can't be, well, those opponents that the Cowboys beat, not very good. You can't use it this week, because it was Seattle. A lot of season left to go. Could Dallas screw this up? Of course Dallas could screw this up. It's Dallas. But dang, they're going to try to have to be hard-pressed to do it. Because with the offensive line that we've got, with a great quarterback in Tony Romo, with an amazing running back in DeMarco Murray, I mean, when you've done something that only Jim Brown has done, it's pretty dang good. And, of course, you've got Dez doing what he does. Terrence Williams I talked about Terrence Williams in the New Orleans game stepping up. Legit number 2 for us now. And then, of course, Jason Witten and Gavin Escobar getting in the party as well. What I really like, too, I mentioned Joseph Randle and Lance Dunbar. This was the first game where all 3 backs were extremely effective. We talked about how we were about DeMarco Murray running down at some point. If Dunbar and Randle can play the way they did today, we're fine. We're golden. And that defense, I trust them. You have to trust them after this kind of performance. So, how about them Cowboys? Just a really good day. I needed it after Texas lost yesterday against Oklahoma. I thought we were going to have the same kind of thing because as Texas beat themselves against OU, it looked like Dallas might beat themselves today, but the Cowboys overcame the Cowboys and beat the Seahawks. How about them Cowboys? We'll see what they do against the New York Giants next week. And with the Philly being on a bye, you could see the Cowboys being in sole possession of the first place in the NFC East. But they still got to win the ball games. How about them Cowboys? Great win for us. See you later.